Who did this to me? Why did they send me to the FBI?
You can't trust them.
Jewelry heist this morning. The perp has a tattoo exactly like Jane's.
We can't lose this guy. He's the only lead we have to figuring out who I am.
We should go in now.
Where do you know me from?
We have a theory about who you might be. You had your DNA tested.
You have the results?
Yes.
New Blind Spot next Monday on NBC and get the app.
On an all-new Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, Rob Lowe drops by. NBC Tonight.
Your one news source. This is NewsCenter1.
Good evening, I'm Shad Olson. This is NewsCenter1 at 10. Russian President Vladimir Putin addressing the United Nations at their 70th General Assembly meeting today. He speaks on issues related to Russia's perceived ambitions, the growing threat of terrorism, and the Syrian refugee crisis. President Putin also meeting face-to-face with President Obama for the first time in nearly a year. Obama says that he's willing to work with Russia over the crisis in Syria. Putin echoed Obama's words, stating that Russia stands ready to work with all of its international partners. Meantime, President Obama, during his address to the United Nations General Assembly, calling for more cooperation to fight ISIS, even saying the United States is ready to work with any nation to resolve the conflict. He also says that he's confident that Congress will lift the trade embargo on Cuba, and in an answer to help refugees' families, the president saying that the U.S. is increasing the number of refugees that will be welcome within our borders. Secretary of State John Kerry announcing earlier this month the U.S. will take in 85,000 refugees from around the world next year. That's up from 70,000, and that total would rise to 100,000 in the following year of 2017. Today, Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump revealing a tax reform plan that would cut taxes for tens of millions of Americans. He says it's not populist. He says it's just common sense. But his critics want to see the fine print on that deal, and they question whether this country can afford the deep tax cuts that Trump is proposing. NBC's Brian Moore has the story from Washington.
With trademark bravado, Donald Trump laid out a sweeping tax reform plan that would lower or eliminate taxes for millions of Americans and give big breaks to businesses.
It's a tax reform that I think will make America strong and great again.
Individuals making less than $25,000 a year and married couples making less than $50,000, 31 million households in all, wouldn't pay federal taxes. Business rates would be lowered to 15%. Critics want to know how this plan offsets potentially trillions in lost revenue.
It reduces or eliminates most of the deductions and loopholes available to special interests and to the very rich.
There are too many tax breaks benefiting the super rich, but until we know specifically which tax breaks he's willing to get rid of, it's really hard to believe that this tax plan won't add quite a lot to the debt at a time we can hardly afford that.
This plan is far more ambitious and expensive than proposals released by Jeb Bush and Marco Rubio, who's the focus of Trump's latest attacks.
Senator Rubio is a lightweight. We understand that.
Rubio's among the candidates on the rise in the latest NBC News Wall Street Journal poll, though Trump is still holding his lead. Brian Moore, NBC News, Washington.
And here's a look at today's markets on Wall Street. And apparently we know the month of October to be the most destructive historically month for the major indexes, especially the Dow Jones. The month of October possibly starting just a bit early in 2015. The Dow losing 313 points on today's session, 16,002, barely holding on to the 16K ledge. NASDAQ Composite down 143 to 45.44. The S&P also losing substantially, down 50 points to 1882. And gold is down 2 cents to $1,131.90 on this day of trade. Locally, a man charged with killing a woman in a jet ski accident at Pactola Reservoir in August, pleading guilty this morning. 29-year-old Jody Krysick of Rapid City pleading guilty this morning to 1 count of manslaughter and 2 other misdemeanor charges. That accident happened August 14th. NewsCenter1 live on the scene, even as it happened, with Caroline Patricus giving a report on the night of that accident and in the search and the aftermath that followed. Kreisig hitting and killing 33-year-old Gabrielle Fisher after colliding with a boat. Fisher's body was recovered after 3 days of intense search. The state's attorney's office telling us that if Judge Jeff Davis accepts the plea agreement, Kreisig could face a maximum of 10 years in prison. Police responding to the Oasis Lounge this weekend for a stabbing. Police saying the call came in about 11:30 p.m. Saturday night. On arrival, police locating the victim in the alley behind the Oasis Lounge. The victim, suffering multiple stab wounds, was taken to Rapid City Regional Hospital. The victim telling police he had no recollections of that incident. However, witnesses telling police they saw a group of subjects assaulting the victim in the alley behind 711 Main Street. They say the group then ran west toward Omaha Street and north on Mount Rushmore Road. Police are continuing that investigation. And with violent crime on the rise, as we've been covering lately, detectives of the police department's Criminal Investigation Division are continuing their work to investigate and solve recent incidents of violent crime. Their primary focus at the moment being the identification of suspects involved in the city's 2 most recent homicides. Police saying in a statement today, we continue to identify and to track down leads in these 2 recent murders with limited witness information offered at the time of those 2 homicides. We're continuing and counting on the public to help us solve these murders, end quote. They are calling on the public to step up and report important information. Police also saying today that they're changing the way they patrol the city. Their RCPD's Street Crimes Unit has increased patrols in areas subject to recent spikes in violent criminal activity. Alongside extra patrols, the SCU is exercising a reasserted focus on the welfare of Rapid City's homeless population. Officers are dedicated to ensuring that those without a home have a safe place to be. South Dakota regulators are deciding whether to approve construction on a proposed $3.8 billion pipeline that would move oil from western North Dakota's Bakken oil field. About 270 miles of the 1,100-mile pipeline would be in eastern South Dakota. Some landowners say they have environmental concerns. A 2-week hearing is now set for start tomorrow on whether to permit the pipeline. South Dakota's Public Utilities Commission saying that a final decision will be made by mid-December. That project also needing approval from regulators in North Dakota, Iowa, and the state of Illinois. Black Hills Corporation opening ground on a new headquarters this afternoon. After years of planning, today officials are calling the ceremony an exciting day and one that will keep the growing company here in Rapid City for the foreseeable future. Breaking ground on a $70 million facility Monday afternoon. Officials with Black Hills Corporation say they look forward to building a bigger and better office, one that will be home to over 500 employees. The CEO of Black Hills Corp says this new building will bring employees from 5 locations under one roof.
Over the last 10 years, we've grown almost 12-fold in size and added over 300 jobs in Rapid City. And with this spread out in 5 different locations now, it's not very efficient, not very conducive to continuing to grow. And so by getting us all in one location in one place, make us much more efficient, much better able to serve all of our customers in all of our states from this one headquarters location.
The expected completion date for that project is fall of 2017. An economic development task force focused on the state's Native American tribes meeting today at the state capitol in Pierre. The Tribal Economic Development Task Force was created during the 2014 legislative session to provide a more accessible forum for tribal leaders from each of the 9 sovereign tribes in our state's borders to meet with legislators and discuss how to best address economic development across the state. It is chaired by State Republican Don Hager from Sioux Falls. Focus was primarily on committee discussion, but members also hearing public testimony. Chief Meteorologist Bob Rigue joining us, and you told us end of last week today be kind of a marked line of demarcation in terms of weather conditions. Certainly was a lot cooler today.
It certainly was, and a little bit of wetness as well, a little bit of rain and some thunderstorms early this morning also occurred. You can see on the radar all the heavy rains are now over southeastern South Dakota, moving across the Missouri River, the lighter stuff. But as far as we're concerned, we're going to have this drizzle, this misty stuff throughout the evening, and we could see some fog as well developing later on this evening, and the visibility could be low in some areas. So if you're going to be out and about, particularly tomorrow morning, that fog's going to be with us. So just be aware of the fact that some areas could have some rather low visibility.
Yeah, even out to Blackhawk, Piedmont Way, it's starting to settle in.
Yeah, you can see it, right.
Already coming in. We'll get more details coming up with Bob in just a bit. In his full forecast on the way, we're back with more news after the break, right here on NewsCenter1 at 10.
This is NewsCenter1. with Shad Olson. Sports with Justin Wickersham. And weather with Chief Meteorologist Bob Riggio.
As your neighborhood changes with the seasons, so do your driving needs. In a new Ford with intelligent all-wheel drive, the possibilities are endless. Suddenly, rush hour doesn't seem so bad. Getting your hands dirty is no big deal. And you get the gym all to yourself. When you have a Ford with intelligent all-wheel drive and great gas mileage, your neighborhood gets a whole lot bigger. Expand your neighborhood in a new 2016 Ford Fusion with intelligent all-wheel drive for just $199 a month. Visit your local Ford store today.
Wake up in your first home. Wake up in a home with a new address. Wake up in a home with no address. Your dream home evolves, and protecting it takes committed support. American Family Insurance.
Synchrony Financial. Engage with a call center team that makes customers smile. Engage with a job where great benefits are only one of the benefits. Engage with us. We're now hiring for call center positions in Rapid City. Learn more and apply at synchronycareers.com. That's SYNCHRONY careers.com. Or text SYF12 to 90206. Again, text SYF12 to 90206. Engage with us.
Take care of tough projects with Remington Tools from Menards. This 16-inch electric chainsaw features a 12-amp motor, an automatic chain oiler, and a full wraparound handle. Just $59.99. Get quality at a great price with Geldwin windows and patio doors. They come in over 1 million size and style combinations, including Energy Star rated models. Right now, all special order windows and patio doors are 10% off.
Save big money at Menards.
When severe weather strikes, now you can be a part of the NewsCenter1 weather team. Upload your pictures and video with the NewsCenter1 weather app, and then see it live during the newscasts. NewsCenter1, your one weather source.
The Honda for You sales event is happening now, and you could get a great deal on a 2015 Honda Accord. The Accord is the best-selling midsize car in America, which makes sense because it's also the best value. And the Accord is loaded with standard features. So hurry into your Honda dealer today, and you could get a great deal on a 2015 Accord during the Honda for You sales event.
A special ceremony at Ellsworth Air Force Base this afternoon. Today, the base officially realigning their fleet of B-1 bombers under Air Force Global Strike Command. Earlier this year, the Secretary and Chief of Staff of the Air Force directing the realignment of the Air Force's B-1 bomber wings and long-range strike bomber program. That move realigns the Air Force's core mission of Global Strike and all of the service's bombers under a unified command responsible for organizing, training, and equipping airmen to perform this vital mission.
Because we are under the same command, we can sort of transfer that knowledge and the expertise and really build some synergies amongst ourselves. And having airmen move between bases and share the knowledge and expertise that they have amongst the bomber force, I think is going to bring all of the capability for all three bombers to another level. So we're going to really benefit from the synergy of this move.
Ellsworth saying that the move represents another milestone toward streamlining the Air Force's organizational structure. South Dakota Governor Dennis Daugaard proclaiming October 2015 as Disability Employment Awareness Month. He says it's part of his focus on making South Dakota a leader in employing citizens with disabilities. He's hosting events acknowledging the observation across the state throughout October. State Department of Human Services Secretary Gloria Pearson saying in a quote, "We encourage South Dakotans to take a look at abilityforhire.com to learn more about how South Dakota is contributing to this effort," end quote. The 2015 theme is "My Disability is Only One Part of Who I Am." They're hosting an event at the Rushmore Plaza Holiday Inn on October 21st. If you'd like more details on that, you can visit our website at newscenter1.tv. Chilly weather and cloud coverage, as you see right there, making for a gloomy start to our week on this Monday. Not just related to the market returns on the start of the week of trade. We get more details on what to expect for the rest of the week and what Bob says is a return to warmer temperatures at some point. Those details and more coming up next on NewsCenter1 at 10.
The Honda for You sales event is happening now, and you could get a great deal on a 2015 Honda Civic. Our best Civic yet was named a KBB.com Best Buy and is the best-selling car in its class. The Civic is also loaded with standard features. So hurry into your Honda dealer today, and you could get a great deal on a 2015 Civic during the Honda for You sales event.
I'm a fan of fan conventions.
I'm a fan of releasing tension.
I'm a fan of this plateau.
I'm a fan of things that go.
I'm a fan of things that shred.
And when it comes to sandwiches,
I'm a fan of ciabatta bread. I'm a fan of DQ.
I'm a fan of DQ Bakes.
3 new artisan-style sandwiches, like the chicken bacon ranch on ciabatta, chicken mozzarella on focaccia, and the turkey BLT served hot out of our new ovens only at your DQ. This is fan food, not fast food.
Focaccia.
Don't let the frustration with the equipment in your office come to this. Call TechNet Corp instead. TechNet Corp, the friendliest computer repair shop in the Black Hills.
Don't miss the multi-million-dollar Overstock Savings event going on now at Furniture Row. You'll find special savings throughout on many clearance and discontinued items. Savings of 30, 50, even 60% while supplies last. Plus, outdoor living is marked down to our lowest prices of the year with savings up to 70%. And enjoy 4 years interest-free financing. It's the multi-million-dollar Overstock Savings event only at Furniture Row.
What makes Liberty Superstores a dealership for the people? People with more insight, more options, more respect, more heart. We eagerly serve the frustrated, the hardworking, the people. We believe everyone deserves to drive a nicer, newer car, and that's what makes us for the people. Liberty Superstores.
This weather brought to you by Black Hills Power.
This is NewsCenter1 weather with Chief Meteorologist Bob Riggio.
We'll have some rainfall totals I'd like to share with you. Over at Sturgis, over a half an inch, 4,500s, Hot Springs, Custer, about a third, and Philippine Ridge, just about a quarter of an inch of rain. So a good widespread rain. 1,300s at the National Weather Service, the same out at the airport. You can see well above normal both locations. So we're going to, I'm sure, finish the year well above normal as well. 64 the high, 51 the low temperature, 646 sun up. We will not see that. We are expecting this light drizzle, this misty conditions outside right now. That should stay with us off and on throughout the evening. We'll have some fog in the area as well. We've already talked about that. But we are expecting to see some slow clearing during the afternoon hours. The sun will be coming up, or sunset at 6:39. So maybe we'll be able to see that as the clouds begin to clear out a little bit. 51 out at the airport, a little bit of clouds going on. Winds are calm. We had a maximum wind gust today of 31 miles per hour. Here's all the nasty stuff. Generally east of the Mississippi, down over the southeast, they've had like 7 inches of rain in some areas in Mississippi, Alabama. Some flooding going on, street flooding as well. You can see the heavy rains continue in Alabama, moving into Georgia. And this line of showers, pretty well stationary. You can see it from central California up across the Black Hills into Minneapolis area and Wisconsin and Green Bay. If you watch the game, you notice a little bit of rain there, all associated with this line of light rain, I should say. And that's where the jet stream is. This is the jet stream right here. So all these little areas of low pressure, which give the instability, cause all the shower activity, it's just going to track just like this, right over the top of us. So what we need is a little bit of a change in the upper levels to push the jet stream further to the south, and that'll carry the rain down to the south. And that's what we expect tomorrow, late tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. Here we go. This is currently, and high pressure is going to build in. The jet stream is going to change its direction slightly, and then this area of rain, this line of rain, will now be to our south. So we are expecting to see some clearing, as I said, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. Certainly on Wednesday. Wednesday is going to be the best day of the next 7 days. So if you're making any outdoor plans this week, Wednesday is the day to do it. Here we go. Here's the jet stream right over the top of us. I've already explained this, didn't I? And you can see that's where the rain is, right along that jet stream. And it's going to change. And then by Wednesday, we get this area of high pressure trying to push back into the Black Hills area. And that's going to bring in some warmer temperatures on Wednesday. But after that, look what happens to the jet stream. Here's Friday, Saturday, now Sunday, way down to our south. And that's going to open the floodgates for cooler temperatures. And we certainly have that in the 7-day forecast. A little closer look. There we go. There goes the rain down to our south, and we'll have the clouds tomorrow morning, breaking up tomorrow afternoon, maybe some areas of some light rain early on. And then on Wednesday, get the clouds out of here, and we're going to bring the sun back. As I said, that's going to be the best day of the next 7 days. Here's a forecast for the Black Hills. Let's see what we got here, folks. Another cool day tomorrow, 68 Spearfish, Custer 58, Pine Ridge 67, Martin 66, 60 at Hill City 69, Sturgis 70. Up there in beautiful Belle Fourche. Tonight, 48, a little bit chilly, cloudy. You will have that patchy fog. It's already developing out there if you've been out and about over the last couple of hours. And then just a few little sprinkles throughout the evening. And then tomorrow we'll have that little bit of light drizzle in the morning, a little patchy fog in the morning. The temperatures 67. And we'll look for some slow clearing. A little bit breezy with those winds out of the south. And we can see a gust up to 25 miles an hour. Partly cloudy and chilly tomorrow night. Should be a comfortable evening. Open the windows. Open the windows. Let a little breeze come in and just throw on the covers. 7-day forecast. There you have it. As I said, Wednesday the best day, 77. 69 on Thursday, maybe a late evening thunderstorm, and then those cooler temperatures arrive Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you can see with those cooler temperatures, a little bit of moisture with that. And we'll try to warm it up a little bit on Monday, 67 degrees. ClipperDeals.com. Get $20 at Betty's Quiltery for just $10. That's a 50% savings. And that coupon is still available. Well, it's that time of the week. You can eat them or use them as decorations. What are we talking about? We're talking about sunflowers in tonight's Botanical Garden.
Botanical, sponsored by True Green. For all your lawn, tree, and shrub care, along with pine beetle protection, think True Green this spring.
Again, welcome, Botanical Garden. I'm Bob Riggi, with me, Joe Hillberry, Master Gardener. Joe, we're going to be talking about, I see we're going to be talking about roses for this episode, right?
No, we're going to be talking sunflowers.
Sunflowers, of course. And you have 3 varieties here.
Well, I got 4.
4 varieties here.
Right.
All
This is the one you see growing wild. You know, the birds have gone out from the bird feeder, and they come up and they got hundreds of blossoms.
Yeah, near swamps usually?
Well, no, they're just about anywhere.
Anywhere, okay.
Right, especially close to bird feeders. But then we have the decorative ones that have all of the different colors and the things like those. Those are really good to plant around your yard or something. You have a building you want to sort of hide, you can put those there.
Okay, but once you plant the seed in the ground, how long does it take for it to flower?
Until fall. You know, August.
So this is this is going to be a fall flowering plant.
That's right.
Okay.
And they're going to grow, depending on the kind, how tall they grow.
Okay.
These don't grow quite as tall as your giants, like the one that you've got right there. Those are the ones you use for getting the seeds you eat.
Okay.
And you take the seeds out, soak them in salt water, and then put them in and roast them.
Yeah. And you can buy a package. These are the giants right here, right?
Right, that's the giants.
I'll put that down. There you go.
Whoa. Now we got to eat them.
Some bird got in there. Yeah, bird got in there. So these are the giants, all right.
And if they're driving down the road and they see the fields of sunflowers across South Dakota,
yeah,
that's these black ones.
Okay.
And that's the ones they use for making sunflower oil or your bird seed that you buy.
Okay, so there are definitely 4 different kinds. This is the kind I have in my garden, is the decorative kind. Tell us a little bit about this one, though. Tell us what you do with this, the bigger ones.
Well, what I do with that is I try to beat the birds to it, and then I cut them off and dry them. And then instead of trying to eat them, I just hang them up outside my window.
Yeah.
And then all winter I watch the birds come and
It's a natural bird feeder.
That's what it is. I just stick a wire through there and hang them in right off one of those hooks by my window.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks a lot, Joe. Appreciate it. All right. Join us next week on Botanical Garden.
She said yes. You're the best man.
I got this.
Nissan Sentra. With push-button start, Bose Premium Audio, and hands-free text messaging assistant. Choose Sentra, J.D. Power's highest-ranked compact car in initial quality. Get 0% APR for up to 72 months. Sentra, step it up.
You're the man.
Shop ChooseNissan.com. Innovation that excites.
Success in business is about growing your bottom line. Now, there are two ways you can do this: increase revenue and decrease spending. This is where we come in. At A&B Business Solutions, our managed print services will optimize your print environment, reducing your total printing costs while improving workflow. Managed print services will impact your bottom line. MPS, it's just another solution from A&B, the company that helps you solve, simplify, and save.
Black Angus beef and bacon? So Tex. Fire roasted peppers and onions? It's Mex. Let's settle this. Tex! Tex!
Should we tell him it's both? Eventually.
When Tex meets Mex, it's a win-win. The Tex-Mex Bacon Thick Burger, only at Hardee's.
The Live Bergen Series by Sandra Brannon. Solomon's Whisper by Sandra Brannon. Buy book today.
This is NewsCenter1 Sports with Justin Wickersham.
The Rapid City Central girls soccer team wrapped up the regular season on Saturday with a victory over Belle-Fourche. But the Cobblers aren't content just to reach the playoffs. The team wants to advance to the quarterfinals this Saturday. Rapid City Central enters the playoffs as the number 5 seed and will host number 12 Watertown tomorrow evening at 5:30 at the Sioux Park Stadium. The two teams did not meet during the regular season. Central has won 3 out of its last 4 matches and is 6-3-2 on the year, while Watertown is 4-7-1. Central head coach Mark Morgan says his team has been playing better over the past 2 weeks and believes his team can go far in the playoffs.
The loss last year to Lincoln was a tough one in the first round. It was an odd day, you know, with 40-mile-an-hour winds, and the weather was a major factor that day. But we're prepped pretty well. We're pretty quick. The girls are in shape. We're healthy, and I think we're kind of peaking at the right time.
In the girls' Class A soccer playoffs, Belle-Fourche will host Spearfish in the quarterfinals tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. The Spartans and the Bronx split during the regular season. Meanwhile, in boys AA, Rapid City Central will travel to Sioux Falls tomorrow to take on the 7th-ranked Roosevelt Rough Riders. And in boys' Class A, number 5 Belle-Fourche is at number 4 James Valley Christian, and T Area will host St. Thomas More in the first round. Now to softball, where Rapid City Central and Stevens wrapped up league play tonight with a doubleheader. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Emma Burns sends one out to shallow center field. The single loads the bases for Rapid City Central. However, Gabby Rice-Abbey gets out of a jam as she strikes out Sydney Dormand in the inning. Moving on to the top of the 5th inning now with Stevens up 4-1. Lexi Marcico hits a grounder past the shortstop. Sarah Bent is waved her home and she scores. Then the Cobblers try to get Caitlin King out at third, but the ball is overthrown, so King comes home. Then another error allows Marcico to score from third base, and the Raiders tack on 3 more runs to make it 7-1 at that point. 3 batters later now, Kaylin Buck sends one out to center field. It's dropped by Emma Burns, and here comes Christina Delzer to make it 8-1 at that point, and Stevens goes on to win 9-1. The Raiders won the second game as well by a score of 12-0. Now to boys golf, where Lee Deadwood won the Region 4A title today for the 2nd year in a row. The Gold Diggers finished just 2 strokes ahead of Spearfish. Custer was third, 3 shots off the pace. Cameron Enright of Lee Deadwood captured the Region 4A individual title after shooting a 77. Well, the Green Bay Packers hosted the Kansas City Chiefs tonight to wrap up Week 3 of the NFL. Kansas City had the tough task of trying to stop Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers is 43-9 in the regular season at Lambeau Field with the best touchdown-to-interception ratio in the history of the league in games played at Lambeau. Let's head to Lambeau Field now, where the Chiefs are an all-time, though, 3-0 against the Packers. The Packers on their second drive of the game. Aaron Rodgers looking, then hits Ty Montgomery underneath for the touchdown, and the Packers take a 7-0 lead. The Packers extend their lead now. Rodgers with the quick hitter out to Randall Cobb. He's able to get the ball across the goal line for the touchdown. The Packers with 150 yards in the first quarter, KC with just 3. The Chiefs, though, finally get their offense going in the second quarter when Jamal Charles goes up the middle, dives, and scores. That cut the Packers' lead in half, but the Packers keep picking KC apart. Rodgers connects with James Jones in the corner of the end zone. Green Bay up 24-7 at the break, and the Packers go on to beat Kansas City tonight 38-28. And that's a look at sports. We'll be right back in a moment.
During truck season at your local Ford stores, you can get an amazing deal on America's best-selling trucks. And behind the wheel of a Ford truck, things just get done. The work finished. Your cargo safe. The trip taken. The time to buy today. During truck season, get 0% financing for 72 months. Or get up to $9,061 in total savings on built Ford Tough trucks. Hurry in and save during truck season. Going on now at your local Ford stores.
You've certainly put in the effort. You started from scratch and have made something that you want to see last well into the future. Maybe someday you'll call it a legacy, but for now, you've just got to get the bread out, the door open, and the bills paid. Having someone at your side who understands where you've been and where you want to go can make all the difference. Small business success? It's bigger than banking. It's you and I together.
Why does Papa Murphy's offer any large pizza for just $10 on Tuesdays? Because these things also happen on Tuesdays.
Soccer practice. Softball practice. T-ball practice. Picture day. Jake's mom can't do carpool. Dentist appointments. Orthodontist appointments. Tuba lessons. Hop-a-thons. PTA meetings. Science fair. Show and tell. Book reports. Math link practice.
Papa Murphy's $10 Tuesdays. Make Tuesdays easier and more delicious. Any large pizza, just $10. Fresh made, fresh baked. Papa Murphy's.
Love at 425 degrees.
Speed. Reliability. Performance, quality. Everything you like about your truck, you will like about Quick Lube. Stop by and their professional staff will perform a tire rotation, 16-point inspection, chassis lube, and an engine and oil filter change. Plus receive a free Super Tunnel car wash. Now offering tire rotations during your oil change. Quick Lube is your no-appointment, one-stop oil change and tire rotation shop.
Well, your fantasy football team just became a lot easier to manage to a championship thanks to the new fantasy football app from Verizon. For every owner, information is key to putting together the winning lineup come Sunday. Now it's just a tap of your thumb away. Inside information from fantasy experts, injury reports, and matchup breakdowns, they can all be found on the NFL mobile app, which you can download for free on any iPhone or Android device. We'll check in with NewsCenter1's Louis Storch coming up tomorrow morning on NewsCenter1 Today, 6 a.m. He'll bring us more details on this secret weapon to master your fantasy domain. A couple of fantasy football guys right here. I never seem to have time to do that during the football season, but I know you guys do.
And Bob, he's
have a lot of fun.
3-0, folks. 3-0, so I don't need that.
Bob probably wrote that app. Is that what happened? That's the Bob Riggio. We got the weather app. Now we got the Bob Riggio fantasy football app.
Well, let's take a quick look at the 7-day. Do we have it? There it is. You can see Wednesday's going to be the best day, and then rain.
Have a good night.
Sample what South Dakota has to offer in one culture-rich event. Join us on Saturday, October 10th in downtown Rapid City for Made in South Dakota. Event co-sponsors Hungry for Truth and South Dakota State University. Taste local delicacies like rattlesnake or buffalo. Ride a covered wagon and experience local outdoor activities. Bring the whole family to the Regional Health Kids Zone and enjoy live music. Don't miss Made in South Dakota in downtown Rapid City on Saturday, October 10th. For more information on this free event, visit mainstreetsquarerc.com.
Never before in Dodgetown history. It's the Dodgetown 100 Challenge. Dodgetown's going to sell 100 Ram trucks and sporty Dodges, and they won't be undersold. It's Ram Truck Month, and they've got the inventory. They're making the deals, and they're moving Ram trucks like they've never done it before. Now's the time to get the best deal on a new 2015 Dodge or a new 2015 Ram truck during the Dodgetown 100 Challenge. Dodgetown, your Ram truck headquarters of the Black Hills.
Your head weighs about as much as a bowling ball. During a rear-end car accident, your neck muscles can be injured trying to hold back over 200 pounds of force, moving backward, forward. That's whiplash. Our firm has represented many folks in their car accident cases where an injury today meant big problems down the road. If you've suffered a neck or back injury in a car accident, don't go it alone. Call us at Whiting, Hague, Dorsey, and Hague. We can help.
Tickets on sale for September 29th and 30th at GotMine.com, 1-800-GOT-MINE, the Silverado Franklin, and the Civic Center box office.